It's the problem with democracy is it's not sustainable. It is completely going 100%. It is going to fall because it's a failed system. It does not work over a long period of time. It's not sustainable. You can't continue to use up all of these resources. You can't continue to live the way you do and be so wasteful with everything. Having a new, even having things as little as having a new cell phone every year. I mean, a cell phone could last you your whole life if you wanted it to. I mean, eventually, you've got wear and tear, it will wear out eventually, but you're being focused on getting a new one every single year. Think of how much waste that is. Think of how much energy has gone into making that thing, and then it's just being cast aside. And all of this is not sustainable. It's just not a sustainable way of living. And this, I have to tell you, it's going to fall. It is going to corrode. It's been corroding for a long time, and it is going to fall flat. And there is not really much we can do to stop that. But politically, the problem is the West have their hands in too many other people's business. They're too far stretched across the world trying to police everyone that they don't actually have the resources to back that up. They don't have the money, as is clear. No one has the money to do these things, but yet we're still trying to police the world. And that is why China and all these other countries are going to rise up. China's economy will be greater than that of the USA. And we are going to be living in a very, very different world in a few years because things are going to happen, events are going to take place, events have taken place, yet people seem to just sweep them under the rug and carry on without thinking. Uh, and and really just not seeing what is happening here, and that is what frustrates me the most because I'm trying my best to do things. I may be doing things the wrong way. I may be hot-headed at times. I may go about things. I may come up with violent solutions to problems and not really focus on the tactical element at all times. I try my best to do things correctly, yet I get frustrated because people just can't see what is going on. But obviously, I have to pay respect to the people who do understand. There are a lot of people out there who have great minds, who have done great things, great and amazing things, and have really, done more than I ever could dream. Yet they're still humble and they're good people. And the problem now is I believe we're running out of good people, and the good people are stopping acting. People are not doing anything anymore. We're running out of heroes. We're running out of people who are standing up and shaking the foundations of the world. We're running out of people who are really making a difference, and I think it's a sign of more things to come. We're in very dark days, and I know that sentence has been uttered hundreds and thousands of times across the lifespan of the human race. I'm sure that's been said many times, but right now these are dark days, and I think it's clear that the people can see that no matter how much they try and avoid it. It's good to have happiness, it's good to be happy, but at the same time, while living your life, you need to focus on things that are going on outside and focus on things that are happening rather than just living and doing nothing, because that I believe humans have so much more potential than what we actually use. But it's because we're kept down by society, we're kept down by government, we're not told what we're not supposed to know, and we're an oppressed people. We don't know it, but we are. You are an oppressed people. You may be the average person more so than me. I don't consider myself oppressed. I am free from the society where I am now. The place that I am residing in right now is free from that Western grip, and I guess that's a small portion of freedom, but people people are oppressed. It's a covert oppression, in my opinion. It's not something you can see very easily, and that's obviously the problem. People are welcoming changes that are destroying their own lives. They're welcoming policies and you know, the Bill of Rights and the Constitution, the very foundations of my country, your country, where, the country which I grew up in, the very foundations that that country were built on are being undone by people connected to the government, people above the government who are manipulating it. They're undoing the very foundations of the country, and that is just completely, you know, it's unbelievable. But yet this goes so much further than that. It's not about the United States. It's not about being territorial. It's just about being human. We need to erase what we know of territory and of borders. We need to get rid of that idea, because people fail to see now that things can change. People look at things that happen in history and say, well, that was history, things like that don't happen anymore. We live in a stable society. But we don't. People don't realize that just like the fall of Rome, the U.S. can fall, that these strong countries can fall. Boundaries shift, things change, and things change. The scope of the world changes, the map of the world changes, the political map of things change all the time. It's constantly changing. People say it's just evolving now and it's not changing, that things that happen in history won't happen again, but they do time and time again. History is repeated. That, that's a famous saying that, oh, history is repeating itself. But history does repeat itself because of the way humanity is. We live in cycles. Things that happened in the past will happen again because it all heads in one direction because of the way we are as humans. Things that happened before are bound to happen again. We segregate ourselves off, we separate ourselves up into territories, and then things go wrong, things go bad, things shift, things change, we evolve, we come up with new things, but we think we're constantly moving forward, but we're just going in one big circle. Maybe technology is advancing, and maybe we are evolving more today, but we're still not free from what happened in the past. Those things can happen again, and even though times change and things move on, things can still happen. Big events still happen. The problem now is that they're less reported on. People just brush them aside. People don't focus on these things for long, and then we just carry on with our lives instead of stopping and thinking, well, what does this mean? What does this mean for my life? What can I do to change it? And that really is a huge problem. But yeah, I probably babbled on for long enough now, and I'm obviously really extremely busy. I have a lot to do. I was doing a lot before in the months when all of this information was coming out, and um, obviously I can't talk a lot about what that was and what that included, but just know that, like I've said before, we are doing something. I personally am trying my best to change things and to bring some hope for you, to bring some hope for people everywhere, for the human race really, that there is redemption, that we can fix this, not maybe in our time now, and maybe it's hard to really grasp it and to say it in a way that is realistic to you, that you can understand, but we are trying, we are doing something, like I've said, we're not stopping this whole issue of globalism. We're not, you know, we're rebelling against these things, and we're doing it in a tactical way, and we're taking care of situations, and we're taking ground, and we're subtly, covertly changing things ourselves. But as I've said before, you know, there's a lot more at stake here. There's a lot more going on than people know, and we're a part of it, and we'll continue to carry on with what we've been doing in the past. But yes, we are doing something. We're trying to make a difference. Like I said, we're not stopping the whole thing. We're not changing the foundations of the way things work. We're just trying to make things safer for people, trying to make people aware while these changes are happening, and trying to safeguard people from the damage that is being done by their governments and by their leaders and by the people above who are manipulating events. But yes, I will be back as soon as I can, and I will try and get out another video. I don't know how popular these things are, but it's good just to have my voice out there, and it's a good way for me to let off steam and just to obviously talk about a lot of what I do. Not specifically, obviously, because I have to protect that, you know that, but just it's good to talk and just say these things because I have to keep these things a secret from everyone else who knows my real identity but doesn't know I'm this person also. So there we go. I will try and come up with another video soon, and while you're out there, just do something. Try and make a difference. Be more aware and take more time to look and research things and pay attention to what is going on and apply it to your life and question it and think, how is this going to affect my life, instead of thinking, oh, this won't affect my life. But yep, stay safe, be careful with what you do. I wouldn't advise anyone to do anything too dramatic or too radical right now. If you want to, if you have any questions or you want to ask anything, then you have to forward those questions to the channel, and then those will be forwarded to me, and I will answer those on a video, on the next video, or so on. Okay, but that's really what I wanted to say for now. So stay safe and take care.